Good evening, everyone, and welcome back again to IG8Live Esports. Once again, this evening we're back with LNR Esports for round 6 for the Austrian Grand Prix and getting started with a short qualifying session here right about now. So we already have quite a few cars already getting out on track since they only have about 18 minutes to get this done before we get into the 25% race. So I think they might put a bit of a rush on it just to get some laps in. In the meanwhile, let me see who is currently out on track at the moment here. I think we'll just keep it on there for the moment. We can have a quick look at what happened coming from Zandvoort last week in terms of standing. So let's see where the drivers are at the moment here. If we can just have a quick look. So currently it looks like we still have Larson still leading the driver standings at the moment, 180 points with a significant lead. He's going to continue on with that unless some other drivers can get some significant points, or maybe he can DNF some of these sessions. We'll see what's going to happen in that case. Of course, Woody Ryder currently second with 121 points. Still holds it on pretty strong with that. Aaron Riley currently third, 118 points, not too far behind. So maybe a bit of an interesting situation with second and third on the driver championship so far. Donners are currently fourth, 111 points. Again, not too far behind. And then we got Mad Max in 5th, 72 points. We got 6th for Angry Dutch Guy, 52 points. Jack there in 7th, 37 points. We got Blumchum in 20 points in 8th. Ryan currently 20 points in 9th as well. And that's going to make it a bit interesting because Hinjiro just behind them in 10th with 19 points on the standings at the moment as it is. So we'll see how that works out coming up after these two races that we do have going on here today. And just before we do start taking some lap times, I think that's going to go up pretty quickly. We'll have a quick look at the constructor standings as it is. Haas does continue to lead, quite a big lead as he still had from last week, 198 points there, leading at the moment. In second, we do have Alfa Romeo currently with 166 points and still a bit of a significant lead away from Aston Martin, who is currently third on that championship there for 137 points. We do have Ferrari in fourth, not too far behind, but only 6 points down, 131. We got 5th for Alpine, 118 points. AlphaTauri in 6th, 76 points. We do have McLaren 7th, 62 points as it is, with Williams behind them with 56 points in 8th. Mercedes down to 9th, 31 points. Red Bull in 10th, 23 points. Two teams that have been struggling for the start of the season coming so far as it's been there. So let's see what's going to happen and what's going to change as we get on through with this session here right about now. So we're still in this as I think Elisa invalidated the previous lap. I'll possibly trying to get another lap going there. Let's see if that's even working out with them at the moment. I'm going to switch it on to Deadcon. Where is he on track? I think he's getting through sector 2. We do have some lap times in. Of course, that's going to get maybe a bit faster as we get on through the session as from some of the time trial times we did see there in the disco. So let's see what's going to happen. Blumchum currently on provisional pole here with a 104.8. Holds on to that pretty well for now. We're hoping to see if we can get some faster times in before the end of the qualifying session. I'm going to go through pretty quickly with that. So Mad Max currently second on the grid here for the start of the 25% race, 105.0. Holds up pretty well with that. Ben Harvey there in third, 105.1. Only a 10th off, so not too far. Jack currently fourth, now down to 5th with a 105.5. Ryan now takes away a provisional pole away from Blumchum. That's a 104.7. And that's the Mercedes of Deadcon going off track a bit. Took a 124.8 earlier on. Not the best of time. We'll have to improve that. And let's see if he does get out of wrong. Master in 6, 105.7. Again, about 2 tenths down there. Eli Town in 7th, 106.0. And Angry Dutch get down to 8, 107.4. Waiting for some more times to come on in. Hinjiro here. Let's see where he is at the moment. And getting a lap in now. That's second fastest on the grid, 104.8, only a 10 down from what Ryan just did in the McLaren. So McLaren holds off on provisional pole, at least for now. His team is currently 5th and looking pretty good in that position as it is there. Let's see what's going to happen. Era 6 out of the session, unfortunately, there. So that's going to be him possibly starting all the way down in 18th on the grid. We'll see how that's going to work out as we get on through the session. Got a few drivers out on track. Do have Ellis Smith still on a lap there. F1 far there. Let's see where he is. And I think he's getting through sector 2, about to get into sector 3. Let's see if he's going to get a better time in or not. So at least half of the grid, just over half of the grid currently with some lap times in. And looking pretty competitive so far, at least with those 104s, 105s that we currently have. Get a 106 and a 124. I think that can hopefully we'll get a new wing on and possibly get a good lap time, and we'll see what's going to happen. F1 far here goes second fastest on the grid, 104.745. It's about 300th of a second slower than what Ryan did. So pretty close between the top two at the moment there for a provisional poll. We'll see how that works out with the rest of the session. We have remaining 12 and just under 12 and a half minutes remaining right now for qualifying, and then we go straight into the 25% race, then the 50% race after that. So going to be interesting to see how all of that works out. So at the moment, still looking pretty good so far. Well, let's see what the rest of the session holds. We might be looking at these lap times getting just a bit closer, just separated by a few tenths at the moment, as it is already a few hundreds out front with our top two. Let's see if they can improve on those times. Definitely Ryan will want to get back out on track and try for another lap. We got Aaron Riley about to get started on his lap here in the LP, and let's see where he can put it on for the start of the race. Definitely looking for a good starting position getting on through this lap here. A bit of an interesting rundown to the tournament is going to be here at the Red Bull Ring, getting started with the opening lap of the race, getting a bit uphill into lap 1, and just depending on where the sun is, how it actually is out, it can be a bit blinding in terms of the braking zones getting down into turn 1 as well. So they're going to have to be extremely careful with that, especially on the opening lap, and avoid contact with each other, and we'll see how well that's going to go. And Ellis currently having 3 invalidated laps. Good luck on getting a good one there, because it can be a bit tricky here at Austria, especially on F1 22, to get a perfect lap in without actually having a spin or actually getting an invalidated lap here. As easy as the track looks, it still can be a bit difficult in terms of qualifying itself to get the perfect lap in, just to get a good qualifying, because drivers are going to be pushing as much as they can in terms of qualifying times. We got Aaron about to get across the line and goes third fastest so far, 104.8, just about a 10 down from F1 Farb, who is now out of the session actually there. So it's going to be interesting to see how well his time actually holds on through going out here. Let's see what's going to happen. Looks like we have Ellis on another out lap here, getting through sector 3 right now. So let's see if this lap is actually going to hold when it does get started here. Where's his teammate? I think Eli Tong is in the next house. They're currently at a 105.8, holding on with that for now. Alright, so Ellis gets started with another lap here, and into turn 1, a bit of a heavy braking zone getting on through, so makes it off through pretty well without invalidating laps. So I'll say that's pretty good so far, but not too much difficulty getting into turn 1. I think getting around to this turn here usually a bit more difficult, as it's a bit uphill and then a bit downhill getting through to the next turn, and it gets a bit slippery on the rear or getting off that exit. So you have to be extremely careful in terms of how fast you actually get back on the power of the car, just to avoid a spin here. Fix it pretty well on that one there. Avoids going a bit too wide, because too much on the inside would have lead on the previous turn to possibly invalidated lap. So has to be as careful as possible as to get on through with this. That goes a little bit wide there. I'm quite surprised that was not an invalidated lap, but almost I think the rear wheels are still on track, which is what saved them there. And there we go. So goes a little bit too wide off that final sector and loses a lap there. That's another invalidated lap for Ellis Smith. Gonna have to try this once again. It's 3 laps done on that set of tires already. Got just under 9 minutes remaining now for this session. Got Jay here in the Red Bull. Let's see what that situation is up to at the moment and what the lap time is gonna look like. I think we have changed back a little bit out front. Looks like Blumchum has taken back provisional pole away from the McLaren of Ryan, and he's back up at a 104.636, a 10th ahead. And Ryan back down to second, F1 far down out to third, Mad Max up into fourth at the moment, Riley down to fifth, 104.8 with him, and just about literally 100th of a second, or 1/200th of a second, I'll say precisely, is where Hinchinberg is down from him in 6th. Ben RV there in 7, 105 still. So quite interesting with the lap times. I gotta say, very competitive so far. And yeah, I think this is going to be quite an interesting race on that 25% getting through, because drivers are going to be fighting as much as they can, even on that opening lap, just to try to get the best possible time in. We'll see how well it works out, because it's going to be interesting to see what happens in terms of contact between cars as we get started with this. Let's switch this on over to where is Dunners on track here. I think he is getting started on a hot lap here right now. So I want to see if the Aston Martin can put a pretty good lap in before this qualifying session comes off to a close. Ellis, I see, still having some trouble getting that lap together. No worries, does happen. I would assume, or I would suggest, try to take it a bit easy on some of the turns that, or at least one, the sector that you do invalidate on, which is sector 3, as it seems so far from that last lap we had a look at there. Especially that final 2 to 3 turns that we have on the track does get a bit tricky getting through that. I gotta avoid going too much over the curb, because it becomes a bit difficult, I notice, to bring the car back over once both left front and right tires go up on over the curb. It just becomes a bit difficult, so for some reason, to bring it back over. You gotta just take it directly onto it and then just take it around, and hopefully that helps. But you got to be careful going into the final turn on that one, because you can spin the car if you're not careful as it. That's Dunner's invalidating on the final turn there, so he's gonna have to try this once again. Hopefully he gets another lap in. We'll see what's gonna happen. Ryan here on the invalidating lap and running, possibly trying to get another lap in. See who else is currently. I think Ellis is on another lap here at the moment, so possibly is trying to get back into the pits. Master, they're not getting a faster lap in as yet, possibly trying another one here. Hopefully that goes as well as expected. Defcon with a 106.2 right about now, and definitely looks like he's trying for another lap. Let's see if that's gonna work out or not. Took it a bit slow through that sector of the track, that is through that turn. Had quite a bit more space could have been used, but everyone has their way of getting through a lap here. Dunner is the only driver still yet to set a lap time in, who's currently active in the session, era 6. Only driver out of the session as it is there right now. Not sure if he's choosing to start it back or was yes, a DNF on the session. We'll see what's going to happen. Eli Tom looks like he's out of the session there. He's retired off of it. Quite an interesting line. We got Defcon taking around the track here. Takes that curve just a bit on yellow and get around. And what's the lap time looking like? Doesn't improve. That was a 107.2. That was about a second slower than his fastest time so far. Okay, let's back onto this. I think we have just about a few minutes left, and there we go. So just under 5 minutes now remaining here in qualifying, just before we do get started with our 25% race. So let's see if we can have some more improved lap time. So far, Glumcham still holds on to provisional pole for the start of that race. Ryan still in second, F1 Far still in third. We got Mad Max still in fourth. Aaron Riley still holds fifth. Inchable still behind him there in sixth. And then Ben Harvey still in 7th. Rager in 8th. Donner's currently up to 9th now with that final lap that he just did there. At 105.2 puts off a pretty good position. Jack there in 10th, 105.3. Got Ellis Smith at 105.5 and puts him up to 11 so far. And looks like a DNF on the session, so that's going to be it for Ellis at the moment. Master currently 12, Angry Dutch guy in 13. Expected to see him a bit higher up on the grid, but he might just fight his way through on that. We'll see how that works out. Where is he on track right about now? I'm gonna have a look, see if he's trying to get a lap in. It looks like he is trying to get a faster lap in that AlphaTauri. See if that's gonna work or not. Pretty interesting with the lap times that these guys get around here. I think we got someone there. Oh, there's Mad Max just went up onto provisional pole there, 104.5. Pretty impressive so far. So they're only separated by about a tenth out of a few hundred of a second. So pretty competitive out front with the grid there. Going to be interesting on the restart itself with some long straights on this track here to see how that works. Especially the DRS zone is going to be interesting, and using those slipstream as well. Going to be a bit of an advantage of those cars, and hopefully the guys out front are able to hold off the ones behind until at least pit stops or to the end of the race. We'll see how well that goes for them. Durners gets up into third now, so that is both Aston Martins onto a pretty good start. Second and third on the grid, first and second row, so not going to be too bad with that. Ryan down to fourth. I think he's back into the pits, might try to get back out and possibly try to get a lap in. We'll see how that's going to work. I think everyone's got a lap in so far except for Era 6, who didn't get to get a lap in before getting DNF off the session. Or retired off the session, I'm not sure what he did. Alright guys, so getting a bit of information, at least from what I can gather so far from this, it looks like there was a bit of an incident on track or somewhere at least around the pit entrance there with Eli Tong or possibly someone else that caused him to get all the way down to 14. Looks like he might have had a 5-place grid penalty after being out. I'm not sure what exactly happened, but something did happen during the qualifying session that we are not aware of, which is why he's all the way down to 14th, because I think he was a bit higher up. Possibly, I think. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure on it, but we'll see if we get some more information on that. But it seemed like something did happen somewhere around the pit entrance there between two drivers during the session itself, and I'm not sure if it led to anything else. But Angry Dutch Guy currently fastest in the session right now, 104.5. As he now gets onto provisional pole with that. Blomstrom on an outlap here. Let's see if he's able to improve his time. We got just a minute left here in qualifying at the moment. And then we are all set to go straight on into the race session. We'll see how the starting grid is going to be looking on that formation lap as we get to that very soon in just a few minutes time. So far looking pretty good. Both Aston Martin still up on top, third and fourth at least. So both of them are going to be on the second row of the grid for the start of the race, as they seem side by side to each other. So hopefully they don't come into contact with each other getting through the first sector at least. We'll see how it goes though, because I'm not sure if team is going to be allowing them to race, which they actually just might. So going to be a bit interesting for us to watch as well. I think Blomstrom about to get started on his lap here right now. Let's see if he's going to get a faster time in at 104.623 so far. Definitely looking to get back on provisional pole if he can. Ryan, I think, on a lap there as well. And looks like he does not improve. He's going to try another lap on this. He might be trying another lap. We'll have a look and see how that's actually working out. But most of our drivers currently off the session already there, just waiting for everyone currently running a lap to finish this off before we get into the results and over into the race session itself, because qualifying is officially over at this point here. Just everyone currently left on track running will be able to finish off their final lap before we do get over to the next portion of our session here. Looking good so far in terms of getting through this lap. Looks like a purple sector 2. I don't think it was a purple sector 1, but let's see if he can pull something through sector 3 here and possibly get that car maybe ahead of Mad Max or Angry Dutch Guy at the moment, as he's about to get across the line. Right, doesn't invalidate, and he does get onto provisional pole. So 104.2, 3/10 faster than what Angry Dutch Guy got on a pretty impressive lap from him. Let's have a look on Ryan in the McLaren, see if he's going to improve on his time as he's about to get across the line here. I'm not sure as yet. Was around 4th. Let's see on the results come on screen in just a bit and see what happens in terms of that there. That was a 104.499, I think. And he did get up to second on the grid, so not a bad move for him and Blomstrom on the final lap that they did there. So starting positions as it seems, I think we're going to go have a look at that during the formation lap itself, but just at least a top 10 at the moment. Blomstrom starting P1. And Ryan will start second, Angry Dutch Guy in third, Mad Max in fourth, Donners in fifth, F14 in sixth, Riley in seventh, Hinchable 8th, Ben Harvey in 9th, and Rager in 10th. And a bit interesting on the strategy, only 2 in the top 10 starting on the mediums, the rest starting on the softs. So we'll see how that works with them, because the top 5 at least will be on the softs getting through, so they're going to be running on a bit of a similar strategy at least for the opening few laps of the race getting through. At least if there's a safety car or not, I'm not sure if they accounted for that. I think that's why they might be starting on the soft just in case, but it's what's happening. It's only a 25% race. Usually we expect about 1 pit stop on this one here getting through. Okay, so let's get off onto this and see how that goes into turn. Looking good pretty so far as Blumton gets here pretty well, and McLaren still holds on to his position there in second. Mad Max still chasing after him, but I think it's getting a pretty dicey out just in the midfield at the moment here. So trying to keep an eye and see what's happening. After quite a few position changes, possibly change as we go. Looks like Radio gets in a position off of Ellis, and they do have a bit of contact getting around. We have one of the Williams spinning around there, and I think I'm trying to figure out who that is at the moment. Looks like it might just be Hinge Bros to get on through still on the opening lap. 18 laps to go into this race. Looks like the front of the rig getting a bit separated from the back as they get on through. Ellis and Donner's having a bit of a go at it down here for P8 at the moment, trying to have a look and see how that's going on through. I think I'll just leave this on penalties at the moment to see if I'm going to have any of those get on as we get through the session. So far so good as Ben Harvey gets a position off of Mad Max, who's now down into 7, trying to have back a look out in front. F1 Fire chasing after Ryan, still not able to get the overtake down, but he's trying to pull alongside him and into the final turn, and looks like he got the position up without getting a penalty as well. So he's up into second, Ryan down to third as they continue on through in this race. Getting on through, looks like Akridotchka might be trying to gain a position there as they get on through. So that virtual safety car for something's happened at the back there with Jay in the Red Bull, and that's going to possibly turn into a full safety car. Depends what's going to happen. Let's see. But so far still just a virtual safety car, so it's going to have to slow the speed down by about 40% and keep it there, or face having a penalty there. Looks like we have a few collisions down in the midfield of the grid, and that's going to possibly cause some more penalties to happen. Let's see what's going to happen as they get on through here. Looks like either our leaderboard has gone crazy, or I'm not sure what happened out front here. Something did happen that we did miss, I believe, because we got a bit of a change in terms of the grid order out in front. Let's see what's happening with that at the moment either way. It looks like F1 Far is now into the lead of the race. We might have had a pit stop, I assume is what happened here. Let's just have a look at that. And yep, we did have a few drivers take pit stops here. So Mad Max, Ellis, Jack, and Aero 6 into the pits. Definitely possibly had some damage there, I would assume. Let's see how that's working out in front back here. With F1 Far getting back started. After that, VSC is now over. Ryan trying to get the move done here. But having Angry Dodge guy chase after him, making that a bit difficult as he still has a bit of a gap to work with. Let's see what that's going to work on through. So Alpha Touring there trying to get past, not getting the move done as yet. He's going to push it on the inside though. Going to have to go a bit late on the brakes. We got the Alpine of Riley coming down behind. He's going to take it on the inside. Tries to get past the McLaren as well because Angry Dutch guy is up into second. And looks like the Alpine is up into third too, so that's Riley up to third. Ryan now down to fourth. His teammate coming behind of him. So that's actually going to work for him, because if he's not having much luck, he might have some damage on the car. Maybe he's not aware of. I'm trying to have a look if any of the end plates are missing. So far so good as you can see. But Ryan's still having some trouble keeping his position on track here. Had a pretty good qualifying, but not a pretty good start to this race so far. Ben Harvey behind of him, and that's his teammate, so let's see if that's going to work. So both McLarens chasing after each other. We got both Aston Martin behind each other there as well, just behind them. So let's see if that's going to make things a bit interesting here. Aaron Riley out in front in third. At the moment, a podium position for him. F1 Far gets the fastest lap out in front. Every Dutch guy though being chased and putting on the pressure now. Let's see if he's able to hold on to second place, because that Alpine definitely is coming up pretty fast behind of him. Having the slipstream, going to have the DRS advantage. That's going to be back online, and uses a possibly a bit of overtake as well. Takes it around the outside, long way around, but looks like he actually is going to be getting it done, and he does get a position up here. He's up into second place now. Ryan down to fourth still. Angry Dutch guy now loses a position. He's down to third. Let's see if he's able to get this back as he continues on through the race. So far so good. So quite a few position changes. Still got Decon and Master back into the pits here at the moment. So quite a few pit stops happening on the early off part of the race. But so far so good, just one driver out. The Master still in the pits, changing position down in the back there just a bit. Gonna have a look with the cabs that we have out front here. F1 Far starting to pull away, and he looks like he might have a pretty good position of holding on there to there in P1. Let's see if he's going to keep that going. And on the mediums as well, doing pretty well so far. Riley on the soft still running there in second, and does have Angry Dutch guy chasing after him, trying to close back this gap on the straights as much as he can. And let's see how that's working through, because he's going to have a bit of slipstream running through this portion of track here in sector 1, and this might actually help him to get back that overtake down as he's going to try possibly take it on the inside, or maybe just hold the position. So far he's just holding his position there in third, not trying to take any chances here in terms of just pushing back for that overtake. See what's happening here, because it looks like Ben Harvey and Blomkamp having a bit of an issue with each other here. They might be trying to yes, Martin was trying to get by, but he just held back that position for some reason. Not pushing on through as yet, but a 2:10 gap, so pretty close between them. He might definitely try to get up into 5th. I think he's looking for a pretty good opportunity at least to try to get overtake done. Doesn't want to push it through at any point on track. But still 3/10, pretty close gap. Still very difficult to get an overtake done. Just depends on the driver in front of you how well they are at defending their positions. And it just depends on car placement getting around these turns as well. He's going to try it on the inside of that final turn, possibly, and now he actually holds it on through. Doesn't want to risk getting a penalty just trying to get by here, unless he might try it into turn 1. A pretty close gap using that slipstream, and it looks like he takes the inside. Might actually be able to get this done. Let's see if the position will hold. The McLaren, of course, will try to get it back. We have Blomkamp's teammate Donald still trying to get past as well. A bit of contact between Ben Harvey and Blomkamp down at the back there. And they still hold on through. No damage as we can see so far. No visible damage, at least to us here. Looks like the McLaren is forced a bit wide. And we got a bit of a spin there. I'm not sure what happened. Did the not sure if the two Aston Martins had contact or Donald's had contact with Ben Harvey there, but definitely had some contact because he just lost a portion of his front wing on the end plate, and that's not going to make it any more better in terms of driving here on this track, because he is going to be losing quite a bit of downforce in the car. Rager coming 1.5 seconds behind. Right sure he's going to be catching up pretty quickly. We're on back with Angry Dutch guy here, currently running in third on the grid, chasing after the Alpine of Aaron Riley, still trying to get by him, getting into lap 7. Let's see how that's going when I get around to the halfway point of this race here in about 2 laps time. So a pretty short race. Oh, the Alpine goes a bit wide there. Doesn't take a penalty, but definitely got a warning on that one there. We can see the AlphaTauri trying to pull around the outside. He might actually get this done. I think he's already ahead back onto his racing line, and he holds that position true. So back up into second, rally back down to third. They might pull another switch before taking a pit stop. We'll see what's going to happen. Both of them running on the same strategy at the moment in terms of tires here. F1 far out in front though, 3-second gap to these guys down behind. Not sure what was happening to him in qualifying, but he's pulling some impressive lap times here in the race itself, even on those medium tires, pulling away from everyone behind of him. That clean air out in front definitely helping him as well, and more so with these two fighting for second position. I think that's going to be helping him quite a bit. Let's have a look, see what's happening with the rest of the grid. In the meanwhile, these guys are fighting down here. Looks like Ellis has a pretty close gap to Mad Max out in front. See if that's going to be an overtake coming on pretty soon or not. The Ferrari, of course, trying to keep the position there in P10. Or Ellis, of course, might try to get that overtake done as much as possible. F1 for having a 3-second penalty. Not under that much pressure, but why the penalty might have made a mistake out front. I believe Ryan gets a 2-second penalty there as well. So what's happening on track, we're not entirely sure as yet, but we got some penalties starting to come about here right about now. And Ellis now with a 3-second penalty. I think they're taking turns taking on penalties at this point in the race here, because we got 4 drivers now with penalties, 2 3-second, a 5-second, and a 6-second penalty here for Ellis. I mean, 2 exceeded track limits penalties so far for that, and I think that's going to get a bit worse in terms of position at the end of the race. We'll see how that works out though. So far running 10th, Mad Max still about 2.5 seconds behind. Blomkamp now gets ahead. I think he's racing alongside the house here, and now gets ahead. He's up into 10th, so Ellis down to 11. Lost a position there. Not sure if he's going to get it back or not. Trying to get it back around the inside though. Let's see if that's actually going to work. Looks like he actually did get back into 10, but I think the Aston Martin might try to pull back that position. Still side by side with the house, and it's going to pull it through on the inside of the next turn. Definitely has the advantage to get it back, and I think might actually be able to keep it there. Looks like Eli Town fighting for positions out in front with Ranger there. I'll have to have a look and see what's happening now, but let's see how well this is going between Ellis and Blomkamp here. Blomkamp all the way down to 10, fighting for position here. I think he's on fresh mediums possibly here, so Is he on the same tires that he started with? Nope. Yep, he is on fresh mediums. And that's going to take him down to the end of the race. Let's see what that works out. Oh, it looks like he has a bit of a spin. The entire front wing is gone. The car is done for there at this point. He might have lost the rear. I'm not sure if they had contact there between him and Ellis. But he's out of this race, definitely. The car is off track, so it might just be a yellow flag in that portion of the track there. Unfortunate for Blumchen, even with a pretty good starting position. He is out of this race. We're currently seeing some more pit stops out in front here. So what's happening? So lap 9 of 18. I think we're about to get into lap 10 right about now. F1 taking a pit stop. And with a decent gap to work with, might just get out back into the lead of the race. It doesn't have to do any wing change or anything, so let's see what that's going to work. Trying to have a look where Angry Dutch Guy is as he's getting around the pit wall there right about now. Does he get out behind? It looks like he does get out just behind F1 so F1 gets back into the lead after a pit stop, but still there's a 310 gap. The gap is now much less than what it was when he was running before on the race. So about 3.2 seconds at least. I think I left him before. It's now down to about 5/10 between Angry Dutch Guy and F1 and both of them on a different strategy here, but of course I think F1 might be on the very softs, and yep, definitely is. So we're gonna have that much more advantage. Just depends on how well the softs are working for him though, because the mediums work pretty well on that Alfa Romeo. Just depends on how the softs are gonna work. Of course, we have Angry Dutch Guy, Aaron Riley took their softs. They're running behind now on mediums because they started on softs. Have to do a different strategy in terms of finishing off the race. So let's see that's gonna work with them, but they're gonna have some trouble keeping up with the Alfa Romeo out in front. So F1 might be looking at a race win here this evening for the 25% race, at least if he can keep the gap over 3 seconds though, because he does have a 3-second penalty. Angry Dutch Guy, Aaron Riley, no penalties on them so far. Ryan there in 4th still has that 3-second penalty, and Jack in 5th. We got Mad Max currently in 6th. We got Ellis running 7th at the moment. I don't think he took a stop as yet. Master in 8th, Rager in 9th, Hinchable currently 10, Ben Harvey down to 11, Niter in 12, Eli Tong in 13, Era 6 up to 14 at the moment, started in 18, Donners in 15, Deathcon 16, Blumchum out of this race unfortunately, and Jay out of the race pretty early on as well. Either way, let's see how the rest of this race is going to get on through. 7-10 gap right now with Angry Dutch Guy and Aaron Riley. I don't think that's going to close off too much. Down to Ranger here in 9th though. Let's see what's happening with him. About to get past the Ferrari. Pulls even onto the grass just to find some space there and pushes that Red Bull ahead up into 8th. Actually gets a pretty good gap as he gets by. So definitely has the pace at the moment, even with the Ferrari still on soft tires there. So has an advantage and definitely is going to use this. Still a pretty close gap though, 410 between them as he continues to try and pull away right about now. So let's see how well that's going to work. And as we said, a few teams still trying to desperately get some points in here. I think that's Mercedes and Red Bull at the moment. Way down on the Constructors' Championship, so they need to get some points in. And Dutch Guy was in 2nd, now gets a 3-second penalty. Aaron Riley, no penalties for him down there in 3rd. Needs to keep that at what it is and make sure Angry Dutch Guy can keep the gap as close as possible to F1 Might be looking at a potential race win this evening if the gap is in favor of him in terms of when they get on the final lap of those races. We'll see what's going to happen in that case, but at the moment it's looking pretty good so far for him, finishing there in P1. He's now back up into 2nd after getting past Angry Dutch Guy here. Dutch Guy down to 3rd. Let's see if he's able to get back to position or not. They're going to be under some pressure and be a bit frustrated as well, having that penalty and now losing a position to the Alpine and who gets by without any penalties. So he knows doesn't stand a chance of finishing in 2nd here unless he gets by up into 2nd and gets a gap going against him. But see what's going to happen. I think he does need to get by Aaron Riley here and hope to finish at least in 3rd, the worst possible position he might get, because I think he's still trying to keep onto a podium position. We do have Aaron Riley going off track quite a bit. Car goes up into the air just a bit as well. Looks like he went over something there, possibly what happened after going over that curb. And he's trying to hold out through into 2nd. Let's see if that's going to work. A 410 gap between the two of them. He's holding up pretty well so far. He's going up a bit. Let's see if the slipstream is working on this portion of the track. Looks like he does gain there just a bit about the 10th. but not too much at this point here in terms of getting close enough for an overtake. So he's gonna have to hold it at the position that it currently is at there. So F14 still continues to lead the race, up by 3 seconds right about now with a 3-second penalty, actually down back to 2.9 seconds. So Ian Riley in Alpine needs to push as much as he can. If he wants a race win here, he's gonna have to keep that gap under 3 seconds, or just somehow force F14 into getting another penalty, or just hopes to get another penalty, because then it would make it a lot easier for him to take away a race win this evening for the 25% race here. Let's see what's going to happen with that. He's up to 3.3 seconds right now, not looking too good for the Alpine driver, and of course the Angry Dutch guy coming back behind him. His car is obviously energy at the moment, looks like it's finished with that, as once a bit slower through that start finish straight, now trying to get back some pace into it as it continues on through. Harvesting a bit of energy there right about now is going to allow the Authority to try and get alongside him, but he doesn't force it on through though. I think Dutch guy is taking his time with this one here, just trying to line this up before he gets around to lap 17 to possibly get the overtake done around there and put this car back up into second on the group. We'll see what's going to happen. Ian Riley, of course, trying to chase after F1 far out in front. 3.6 second gap. Looks like the only way he's going to finish P1 Riley there, of course, is if Far gets another penalty, which is not looking that way at this point here. But he is pulling away quite quickly, so let's see what's going to happen in terms of that getting on through. Looks like Jack and Ben Harvey switch positions for 9th down at the bottom of the, well, in the midfield of the grid. Let's see how that's working out so far. Still 16 drivers in this race getting on through. Looks like both Jack, something's happened down at the back of it. Both Jack and Ben Harvey are out of this race. Trying to have a look where their car are on track here. And I think we're coming up to it right about now. That's going to be a full safety car for that situation, because I think they're so close off to the track. And they might have come together and had some contact there. So both cars out of the race right now. They just switched positions. I think they might have tried to fight to switch it back. And that's what led to that full safety car. This is going to be a bit interesting right about now. Aaron Riley now stands a pretty good chance of possibly getting a race win here, because the gap between him and F1 Far is now going to come down to just about a few tenths, as the safety car is going to come out for at least 2 laps on track. But he's going to have very, very limited laps left in terms of trying to get an overtake done. And let's have a look, see if anybody is going to be doing a pit stop as we get around to that pit entry coming very soon. I think they're all going to be watching on F1 Far to see if he's going to be going into the pits, and he does not go in at this point. I'm trying to see if Aaron Riley is going to go in as well. No, he does not. It's too close after the end of the race. Angry Dutch guy does go in though, so he's probably going to get onto a new set of softs there to get back out and hopefully gain back some positions. He was running P3, so I'm trying to figure out why he would decide to take a pit stop at this point, because I'm highly doubting other cars are going to be taking stops at this point unless they have a gap to work with. I don't think he does have a gap towards Ryan behind him, or Ryan took a stop there as well, which is why that happened. I don't think they're going to get back out in the positions that they were actually at there. So let's see how that's going to work out with them. So F1 Far still continues to lead under the safety car right about now. Of course, there are 3-second penalty. 3 cars behind the Alpine of Riley has penalties as well. I think Aaron Riley might be quite a bit more confident right about now in terms of taking a race win. A safety car is going to be in on this exact lap right about now we are. So getting back, we're going to have racing going on from lap 17 and lap 18. 2 laps of racing left. Quite a short safety car, one of the shortest we've seen so far. Just because it has come too close down to the end of the race, can't keep it out too far. I think they already cleared off the cars off track as well. So for Jack and Ben Harvey there, so that's going to be it for them. 14 drivers currently left in the race. Let's see, we got that kind of lap down right about now. F1 Far currently leading, Aaron Riley second, Angry Dutch guy in third. Let's see what's going to happen as they get back started. Getting around sector 3 right about now, waiting for F1 Far to get back started with this. And I think he is about getting back started with it right about now. A 6-10 gap between him and Aaron Riley in second. I got Angry Dutch guy coming 4 tenths behind after even taking a stop here. And I think he's on fresh softs at the moment there as well. Let's see if that's going to work. And Riley now takes a 3-second penalty. Of course, F1 Far takes another penalty as well. So that's a 6-second penalty for him. Still close enough for Riley to still get a race win this evening and put F1 Far down to start. Actually, might be Angry Dutch guy getting up into second for place on the podium. Just depends on what the gap is at the wrong as they get off to the end of lap 18, which is going to be on the next lap. So really not a lot of time left for F14 to actually get further ahead and create some sort of gap to still hold on to a pretty good position here. But he's going to be down at least third or fourth here as far as we can see. I think the worst position he's going to end up down being is around P4, because we have Ryan there with a 3-second penalty as well, who's currently running not too far behind. Even adding up those gaps, it's not more than 3 seconds with a 6-second gap, and these guys are all having 3-second penalties behind. I think Evan Farr is going to go down to P4, might be out of the podium position. We'll see how that's going to work on through as they get into the final lap here right about now into lap 18. And Riley still holds on to his position. Angry Dutch guy in the Fattori coming behind, still about 4 or 5 tenths behind, a pretty close gap. Hopefully everyone can avoid getting an extra penalty on this final lap as they get on through. But let's see what's going to happen with everyone far out in front, having a pretty interesting chase done with Aaron Riley in 7, closing the gap, but not possibly going to be able to get by. Still will be able to get the position. Ellis Smith out of the race on the final lap there, and leaves us with 13 drivers remaining to go. We got a drive-through penalty for 90 there, which I guess you'll have to serve on the final lap as he gets through this. I think we'll stay with the Alfa Romeo of F1 on the final lap, getting through 8 tenths to in the Alpine behind, and then another 3 tenths with Angry Dutch guy chasing after him, and then 9 tenths with Ryan behind. Let's see what's going to happen. This is going to make it a bit interesting, but I highly doubt that gap is more than 3 seconds going down to Ryan there in P4, which means it's going to be possibly F1 far down to P4. Aaron Riley might take the win. Angry Dutch guy in second, and Ryan will take third on the podium for this as they get on the final turn. Looks like F1 far will get across the line P1 though, so let's see how they switch positions up. And they do switch it as expected there. So Riley takes the win for this 25% race here at Austria. We got Angry Dutch guy taking second on the podium. Ryan takes third on the podium, and F1 crosses the line P1 but has to take P4 because of a penalty. Mad Max will take P5. Eli Town getting around the final turn now to take P6 in this race. We do have Rager taking 7th. Master will take 8th, but we'll have a switch with Hinchero there in terms of positions for 9th place on the grid. And let's see where Donors go as they get across. So Hinchable goes into 8th, Donors go into 9th, Master takes 10th, Nitro takes 11, Error 6. Looks like he's going to take 12 there, counter 13, but of course we got a driver has to take a drive-through penalty. Does he go across the line, or does he finish off in the pits? I'm not sure. Either way, let's have I think we're going to head straight over to the next session now for the 50% race, and that is going to be a bit of a reverse grid situation going into that race. Now we have results from this one. CDR takes driver, but not a bad finish for him. Alright, so let's see if we can have a quick look. So race winner for the first race here for this evening, Aaron Riley in the Alpine takes the win for that one. Angry Dutch takes second, Ryan takes third. F1 finishes across the line P1 but has to take P4 for penalties. Gas the fastest lap though. Mad Max taking P5, Eli Tong takes 6, and driver of the day, Rager 7, Hinchable 8, Donors in 9, Master in 10, Error 6, 11, Nitro 12, Dead Corner 13. And I think that was our 13 drivers that finish out the race. We're going to give the guys a few minutes to get the grid sorted for the 50% race, and then just be back online for that there again. Okay, so back on again after a bit of an incident with the lobby as it was there. So on the formation lap getting started for the 50% race, they're going to be 36 lap around the Red Bull Ring for this race. Dunners here starting P1 on this session. Here we got Hingerbo will start second, Ranger will start third, Eli Tong starting fourth, we got Mad Max starting fifth. We got F14 starting 6, Ryan starts 7, Angry Dutch Guy will start 8, Aaron Riley starting 9th, we got Era 6 will start 10th, we got Nitro starting 11, Deadcon in 12, Ella Smith start 13, we got Jack starting 14, Ben Harvey starting 15, Blumchum in 16, and Jay will start 17th in this race. Going to be most likely a 2-stop strategy going on through the session. Let's get a track map on and a few other details that we will need as we get on through this. Starting tires as it is there, we can see a mix of strategy between soft and medium, especially for the top 8 drivers as it is. We got 9 to 12 starting on the softs and a bit of mix going on down at the bottom of the grid. We'll see how well that goes on through as they all get started on this one. Leave this on penalties as it is, and just waiting for these guys to get around the track so we can get started with this race. Well, winners from the previous session we just had there on the 25% race, finishing P1 was Aaron Riley across the line though, even though with a 3-second penalty, still got P1 because of the driver in front having 6-second penalty, so he still got the race win for that one there. Angry Dutch Guy finished third. I think it was, no, sorry, second, and Ryan finishing in third. So top 3 as it was from there. Let's see what positions they do get at the end of this race at least, and how well that's going to go for F14. Did get across on the P1, but because of 6-second penalty, he had to take P4 on the previous session. We're getting sorted onto the grid right about now, having a look at the final car and waiting for that to get sorted right now. So Dunners and Hingebro out in front. Let's see how well it's going to go between these two. And they do get started here. Got Dunners on the left side, Hingebro on the Williams here as we're on board with. Let's see who gets a better start off the line, getting down into turn 1. Just waiting for those lights to start to go right about now. I think we're about ready to go here. Alright, there we go. So starting up, and let's see if we can get any wheel spin off of Gunner's car. Does get a bit of wheel spin, a bit of an even start between them. Of course, the Williams gonna get alongside. A pretty good run down into turn 1 as he gets, and he gets by. Let's see if the smart driver can get it back. Doesn't look like he does. Goes a bit wide though, so Gunner's down to second. Got a bit of contact between Eli Tong and Rachel down for P3 at the moment as they still get on through with this. And got a few cars side by side trying to fight for positions as they get on through. There's a bit close contact between maybe a few cars there. Looks like that McLaren and Ferrari possibly had some contact. I think also F14 in the middle of that as well. Aaron Riley currently 7th and running. Just got down a position, I think, from F14. I think we're going to be the two of them once again trying to fight for positions through this race, or side by side getting through. And I think they're trying to hold on through, going through Mad Max and Ryan here fighting for P5 still. Looks like the Ferrari gets out front and holds on to that position. Ryan down to 8, might have had a bit of contact with someone or just lost a few positions, but still holding on in through the race. Still got all 17 drivers in. Looks like we got someone off track. I think that was F14 down at the back there, and hopefully everything is okay on his end. He's down to 14th already, so we do have I think Riley going just a bit wide down at the back there. Mad Max still trying to keep up with Dunners out in front. Hingebro still leading now the race as it is there. Razor running second. Dunners down up into third actually, trying to get back up to where he started there in P1, not having the best of luck. Eli Tong here chasing after him. Let's see how well that's going to go. A bit of a train of cars coming behind them on the second lap here at the Red Bull Ring, and he's exiting on the inside, so the Haas driver trying to pull for a move. Doesn't look like he gets it, but the Ferrari coming around the outside of him. That Aston Martin goes a bit wide there with Dunners. He's still trying to hold on to his position in P3. Let's see if he's going to be able to do it. Less than a tenth between him and looks like Mad Max, who was just behind him, now gets by the Haas of Eli Tong, though still chasing after these two. He's definitely looking to get a position up if he can. Aaron Riley now gains a position off the McLaren of Ryan. He's now up into 7th. Now he got it back again. He lost it and they get back once again. So I think the two of them are still pretty close. Trying to switch it back through. Let's see what's happening down in the back here. On board with the McLaren right about now. See how close this actually is going. Got Nitro coming just behind of them. Out in front, Angry Dutch Guy and Eli Tong. Still about a pretty close gap between them. A bit of contact between them as they get back around the final turn to the next lap. And looks like everything still is pretty good so far as they get on through. Very close gaps between them as Riley's still trying to get past Eli Tong for P5. Still trying to hold on to that. The McLaren of Ryan goes a bit wide down at the back there, loses positions to Niter, who's now up into 8th, and still trying to keep it on true. Only a 10th between the Alpine and Eli Tong in the Haas. Still holds on to their position, but 3-10 gap going to be possibly pretty easy to get an overtake done if he's able to get around to this here. Of course, on the soft tires here as well as he gets started, so Riley might have a bit more advantage in terms of pace around the track. But let's see if that's going to come to his advantage or not. Out in front, Rachel now leads the race against Hinchable, who's now down with a second. So he lost that lead. He's about 7 tenths behind. Trying to get that position back. Might have actually made a bit of a mistake. Let's see how that's going through for him though. He's trying to get it back, I think, but he's losing a bit of time out in front, because gap is going to a second and over. He's going to be out of the DRS range, which are now going to be have online here at lap 3. Now about to get into lap 4 already. Riley here still on board with him. See what's happening with him and Eli Hong there for P5, and not looking too good on his end. He's not able to close the gap any more than what it is right about now. It's about 3 tenths. He might have to use some slipstream advantage and maybe a bit of DRS to try and get that overtake done. Keeps going a little bit wider. He has to avoid taking any penalties in this race. A penalty almost cost him a race win on the previous race there, so let's see if he's able to keep it clean on this one getting on through, as will hopefully the rest of the drivers get through with this here. The Haas in front getting a bit twitchy on that exit, as Riley now tries to take advantage of that, a 210 gap as he goes down this straight. Tries to use possibly some DRS advantage here hopefully, and let's see what's happening. Air Assist getting a penalty, unfortunately. Forced penalty here in the feature race as we get on through. Trying to have a look and see how close Riley's actually getting to Eli Tong here, because he has a pretty close gap. Let's see if he's able to close it and possibly get ahead though. Looks like Blumcher might be under some pressure down at the back of the grid here in P9 right about now. 2 tenths to the from behind of him. And let's have a look behind, see how that's going. Looks like it's a very close gap. Definitely he might try to take it around the inside, which he is trying to pull off through right about now. Doesn't really want to take a chance. And that's Blumcher with a penalty. Goes a little bit wide off that final chicane there. And yep, Ryan now gets one as well, who's currently in front of him. Going to get back out in front, see what's happening out in front here with Dunners and Mad Max here. I think they're going a little bit side to side. I think that's Hinchroad just in front of him, going very close off with him. Ranger still leads, Hinchroad in second, but a very close gap to Mad Max just behind. I think Donald's trying to follow on through with this, so let's see how that's working for him. He's trying to get up onto a podium position along with that Ferrari there if he can. Aaron Riley, of course, coming just behind of that, followed by Eli Tong there, P6. So still a bit of a train of cars getting on through. Looks like Donald gets past, just holding ahead of Riley. He's trying to keep that position, and we'll have another penalty on here with F1 Far getting a 3-second penalty. Looks like Ryan Ablub on both penalties. Eli Tong out of the race. What's happened to his car? I'm trying to have Ablub down at the side of the track there. And I'm not sure what's happened, but that's a virtual safety car. Might possibly lead to some pit stops here. Let's see what's going to happen. A few cars are already past the pit entry though, so they might have to just continue on with this. Being just a VSC, it's going to be pretty short for that, less than a lap or so, so they might not want to take a chance of doing a stop here and losing position just in case. It depends on what sort of tires are running on us, because we know there's a mix of strategies going on track, and I highly doubt even those on the soft will want to take a chance of taking a stop here. Let's see what's going to happen. I'm going back down to Riley and Ryan here, 5th and 6th between these two, still on the virtual safety car, so absolutely no overtaking until that VSC is over. They're keeping a gap as close as they can right about now. Some drivers will get advantage here, some will not. The VSC is over, back racing again as the McLaren is trying to get alongside Riley in the Alpine here. He's around the outside and possibly trying to get an overtake done, but might not be able to get it done on this occasion here. I think they might have had just maybe a bit of wheel contact there as they got on through, but still looks pretty good so far as they get on with it. Ryan though, 210 gap, he's trying to close it as much as he can, trying to get back up into P5. But of course, the Alpine driver making it a bit difficult on him right about now. Drive-through penalty for 2 drivers so far, and I think that happened under the virtual safety car. If you do speed on the VSC, you do get a drive-through penalty, which you have to serve after the VSC is over, and you have to serve that within the next 3 laps, or face being disqualified from the race as a result. Got Mad Max now getting ahead of Hinchroad out in front there, so he's getting up into P2. Hinchroad is down to 3rd, only a 10th behind. Let's have a look, see if he's able to get the position back. So Williams driver losing that. He was out into the lead. Richard took that away from him. He's now down into 3rd as Mad Max in the Ferrari gets up into 2nd. Do have other cars come behind him. Then Ryan and Riley still fighting down here as they get through that turn there. The McLaren's definitely trying to get up that position, but having a very difficult time of actually getting it done here. He's going to try to pull it along the inside. Is he? No, he's actually going to, yeah, he is forcing it through, trying to go a bit later on the brakes, but doesn't actually work. We got F1 for getting the fastest lap down there in P13 with a 3-second penalty as well. Got across the line P1 on the previous race, had to take P4 because of a 6-second penalty, already a 3-second penalty. We have a few more drivers with penalties as well. Let's see if they're going to actually hold all of this going on through, because it will affect race finishing positions down at the end of the race. Rager out in front, 5 seconds is what the gap is between him and the Ferrari running in second. So he has a decent gap to work with. Let's see if he continues with that as he get on through the race there. Lap 8 of 36 at the moment here, so we're moving pretty quickly through the race. As I said, it's a pretty short lap around here at the Red Bull Ring. One of the shortest we have here on the F1 calendar for this season, so going to get quite interesting to see how fast this race is going to come to an end, because drivers are pushing as much as they can. Down in the back here, I think we got Angry Dutch Guy trying to get past Jack here, and this is for P10. He goes a bit wide off that final turn, not taking a penalty, but definitely took a warning on that one there. It's about 2 to get on the 3 warnings where you get a penalty on it, so you only have a certain amount of time to actually do that 1 or 2 times, and that will be forgiven, I guess, so as it goes. So R6 gets another penalty as Angry Dutch Guy gets up into P10. Jack is now down to 11th. So gonna have to try and get that position back as much as he can there, because just want to get some points in for the team and for the Drivers' Championship there as well. Trying to have a look out in front, see what's happening there. I think we're gonna switch this back to him to go out in front for P3. Have a look on board with him. He's chasing after the Ferrari of Mad Max, not having the best of luck here. The gap is about 8 seconds. Does have that DRS advantage to him, but still trying to bring it down to at least 2 to 3 tenths to have a bit more advantage in terms of trying to line up himself up for an overtake at this point to get back up into second and possibly get back into the lead if he can. Ranger though having a pretty good gap. He might need a safety car here to get some sort of advantage to get back out in front there. We'll see how that's going to work out. Ryan with a 6-second penalty now, still chasing after the Alpine of Riley and not able to get past as yet. 5 tenths is where the gap is, and with Dutch Guy fastest lap 105.8, and that's race pace time. So a pretty good lap so far in terms of race pace and getting on through. Qualifying as well, we had a lot of 105s in the qualifying session there as well, or we started off the session. Pretty good gap out in front though. Rager is still leading 5.6 seconds, and I think he's improving that gap that he has there. Injury having a lot of trouble catching up to Mad Max. It's still about 5 or 6 tenths as it is with Dunners behind of him. Riley follow on by about 1.8 seconds. Another second behind is where Ryan is. So both of them out of DRS range right about now. I think Ryan is trying to get himself back into DRS range, and I was like, it might actually be working for him. We'll see what that's going to work out with him. Angry Dutch kind of looks like in 9th, trying to fight for another position here if he can get into 8th. 310 gap towards 9th in the Alfa Romeo in front of him. Kind of stuck between 2 Alfa Romeos at this point here. Of course, the one behind about 8.6 seconds behind, so has some time to work with that one at least. Let's see how he gets on out in front. Still lap 10 of 36. We got another 26 lap on average to get on through with this race, as we got Angry Dutch Guy getting past that Alfa Romeo around the outside, and a pretty good overtake before he even gets into the braking zone there. I think that was actually well executed. He's got that done pretty well. He's going to continue on the chase. 8.3 seconds towards the next car in front of him, which is Jay in the Red Bull. Era 6 retired off the session. Eli Town out of this race, unfortunately, already off on. And we got a safety car for something's happened on track at some point, and I'm not sure exactly where it is at this point here, what's happened, but something definitely has happened on track. That's caused a full safety car here at Austria. So we got pit stops starting to happen. Let's see what's happening out front. Definitely going to trigger pit stops within the midfield. We got our race leader Rager coming around sector 2 right about now. Quite sure he's going to be trying to get a pit stop done here as well, as he's been running on the soft tires from the start of this race. Definitely wants to get a stop in. Go on to a set of mediums possibly to go to the end, or maybe a set of hards. Let's see. Going to be a bit of an aggressive strategy pushing on to the mediums to go to the end, but has done 11 laps so far. Got about 25 laps average to do. Might want to think about doing it on the hards. Just depends what has to happen, but if they do expect another safety car to happen, they might push for going on to maybe instead of mediums and then maybe just doing soft, medium, soft, or maybe soft, medium, medium. I'm not sure. There's soft, medium, or maybe some of them doing mediums to hards. We'll see what's going to happen. Looks like he's going to go into a set of mediums, and let's see how much further into the race he's going to push, because he's going to go another 2 laps under the safety car before actually getting back racing here. So let's call that about lap 15. We're going to get back racing at least. So we're going to be running a bit of a slower pace on these tires and not going to be wearing them away so much during the safety car stint here that we have going on currently. That does give us at least about... still about 21 laps or so to go under this racing conditions, so they're gonna have to be wary of if these tires can carry on through. Let's have a look at tires in the meanwhile. We've been having a look at penalties to see what the situation is so far. So as we have it, I think we're waiting to see what pit stops are going to happen and just follow on through behind the safety car and see what changes will happen with the grid itself and what position changes will happen so far. Looks like Jay has gained the most, but he will have to take a stop. Hasn't taken a stop as far as I know. I see, yeah, he has actually taken a stop. He just took a stop and he's all the way up into P7. So he's actually running pretty good on the grid so far. Might possibly looking at maybe getting driver of the day. We'll see how that holds on through going at the moment. Currently, as we have it, looks like everyone's taking a stop here. Ben Harvey took an earlier stop in the race, currently on the mediums, 9 laps done on them. It doesn't look like he's going to take another stop right about now. Might do one more stop down to closer off to the second half of the race, getting onto a set of softs to go on to the end maybe. We'll see what his strategy change is going to be. Jack there went onto the first set of hards. Definitely going to push all the way to the end with that. Donald's on a set of softs, so he's going to be doing one more stop. Some maybe around lap 25 at least, or 23 maybe. I think at least lap 25, maybe go on to a set of mediums, go down to the end of the race. I'm not sure what set of tires he started the race on. If he did start on the mediums now to the softs, he's going to go to our next set of softs on lap 25 and then push that to lap 36, which is going to be quite possible at that point there. So let's see what the strategy play is going to be with the rest of the drivers. As we have it right now, I think everyone's currently taking their stops and we're back racing. Dunners though should be having a bit more advantage after this race gets back restarted here. We'll see what's going to happen. As we have it under the safety car, we got Rager currently leading this race in the Red Bull. We got Mad Max currently in second. Hinderburg currently running third. We got Dunners currently running fourth. He started P1. Hinderburg started second, and that's where they're down to. Aaron Riley currently in fifth, I think right around there where he started. We got he started a bit down. Ryan there's currently in sixth. Jay in 7, Angry Dutch Guy in 8, we got Ben RV in 9th, Ninter in 10th, F1 Far in 11th, Jack there in 12th, Blumchum currently 13th, Ellis Smith 14th, Deadcon in 15th. On the grid, we got Error 6 and CDR Eli Tom currently out of this race. 2 drivers out, 15 remain. Hopefully we can have all 15 actually finish off the Austrian Grand Prix. We'll see what's going to happen in that case. But so far so good in the race as we can be going. Some pretty close gaps here right now since we're under a safety car. And hopefully, let's see how soon we can get back racing. We might actually get back racing at the end of this lap. Let's have a look. As they're about to get into sector 3, we'll have a look. If not on this lap, should be at least on the next lap. We should be good to get back racing here. So let's see what's happening in that case. Doesn't look like we're getting back racing on this lap, so we might have to go just one more lap under the safety car before actually getting back this race on the way. That's going to take us racing back into lap 15 as we expect it to be. So because we're about to go into lap 14 right about now, we're going to go around to the end of that one. That takes us to lap 15 to restart the race, and then go all the way to lap 36. We're going to see if we're possibly going to have another safety car in this race, or maybe another VSC. Drivers might try to use to their advantage in terms of taking another pit stop before closing off the race as it is. So into lap 14 now as we continue on through. I'm just waiting to see what's going to happen. We do have a few drivers with penalties at the moment as it is. As you can see, Darners has that 3-second penalty. Going to have to be a bit careful with it in terms of finishing position here. 9 seconds so far for Ryan there. Not sure if he takes another stop. If he can serve a 5-second penalty. We got Ben for 3 seconds. Blumchum currently with 3 seconds there as well. His teammate currently in P4 support. Aston Martin is currently with penalties as it is. Ellis Smith with a 6-second penalty Going to affect the race just a bit there on finishing positions. F1 for a 6-second penalty once again in this race. On this instant, he is down to P14, not running P1 as he was in a previous race session. So let's see if he can improve and possibly get that car up a few positions before the end of this. And we're about to get back racing here right about now at the end of this current lap, as we expected, getting racing back into lap 15. And that takes us to the end, hopefully straight down to the end of the race, to lap 36. So at least 21.5 laps, 22 laps of racing to go before we close out the race here. Okay, so safety car has gone in. We're waiting to see what's going to happen as these guys get around the final turn here. Looks like that Red Bull goes quite a bit wide for some reason. So what's happened down in the back there, I'm not sure, because Mad Max is now into the lead of the race. So for some reason, the Red Bull went very wide and is out of the race, unfortunately. Not sure what happened there. That's kind of weird. So Rager is out of the race. He was leading on the safety cars. They got back, restarted the run. Mad Max is now out into the lead. He leads. Hinchburg in second, 4 tenths behind. Aaron Riley currently down to fourth now. Donald just got past him. He's currently up into fifth. I think Riley went a bit wide there. He's side by side with the Aston Martin, trying to get back that position. We do have Ryan in the McLaren coming just behind. He's using the slipstream of both of them at the same time, getting on through this. Trying to see who he can follow through for an overtake here. Looks like he's going to try on the inside. Might try to get alongside Riley and possibly try to get past him as well. Riley trying to hold on to fourth position, which he currently has. Only a 10th behind is where that McLaren is. And without guy coming 1.3 seconds behind that. So gonna have to be a bit careful with this. F1 far up into 10. He has gained a few positions. Only a 10th behind Blumchum and the Aston Martin, trying to get past him right about now. And looks like trying to see what's happening with Ellis down at the back there. Down into 11. F1 4 having a bit of a go with that. So let's see what that's going to change. Riley here still running P4. Ryan still in 5th. Gaps are still as it is. Riley trying to get alongside Donners right about, but to try to get back to her place. Doesn't look like that's working out too well. Mad Max out in front is trying to hold up the lead and trying to create a gap here. Donners now getting up into second place in this race. Those soft tires, as we said, were going to be a bit of an advantage to him. Everyone else running on the mediums, and he's now gotten up. We do have Hinchburg trying to get back that position. Even on the mediums, he's trying to push on through, using the slipstream as much as he can here. DRS should be online back pretty soon. If not on this lap, should be on the next lap going through. He should be already online. The Ferrari of Mad Max still continues out in front. Has Donners within DRS range though, so this is when it's going to make it quite a bit interesting here, because Donners only got a 3-second penalty. The pace he's going with right now on those soft tires, of course he does have to take another stop, but he needs to gain as much positions as possible, which means getting into the lead of this race and continuing on through, creating a gap as much as he can, so that when he does take the next stop, he still will have the advantage of possibly gaining back a few positions. Blumchum is out of the race. DRS is now online. We got a yellow flag situation there in sector 3. And I think Blumchum is out somewhere on the pit entry at the moment there. So I'm not sure how that exactly happened, but unfortunate. That leaves us with now 13 drivers remaining in the session. Losing a bit more as we get on through that corner with another penalty as we get on through that. Let's have a look on board with Donners here right now. Still chasing after the Ferrari. And we got a virtual safety car right about now, which just happened there. Possibly because of that situation there with Blumchum, I'm not sure, but this is not going to last too long. Of course, Donners here now catching up to the Ferrari, now down to about 4 tenths. And I think he's going to keep it as close as he can there. Nitro getting a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags on track. Gotta obey the yellow flags, guys. Gotta obey the yellow flags. Otherwise, you do get a penalty. Safety cars, VSCs, we gotta follow the speed limits. Otherwise, they all result in a penalty. Of course, safety cars and VSCs, a much heftier penalty, because they do give you a drive-through penalty for that there. Waiting for that VSC to be over here right about now. Ellis gets a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags right about now. Not sure if that's a glitch or that's actually happening, but they have to be very careful during the VSC in terms of their speed here. Angry Dutch guy falling down the order right about now. What's happening on the back here, I'm not sure. I was still waiting for this VSC to be over. 3 tenths is what the gap has kept constant with between Mad Max and Donald's there, and that's for P1. And these two are going to continue with it. And Dutch Guy and Knight are both with drive-through penalties at this point here, which are going to have to serve after the VSC zone, which is right about now. So we already got Donald's trying to take it around the outside of the Ferrari, gets it into that turn, and gets through pretty well. Got it before the braking zone, I think. the Ferrari is about to lose another position here if he's not careful, because the Williams up here were coming just behind, only a tenth behind. And we're missing someone here out in front. I'm looking to see where... Oh, there is Aaron Riley. He's down into 11. Not sure what happened to his car. So he's down to 11th. Did he have to serve a drive-through penalty as well? I'm not 100% sure about that. Either way, let's focus a bit out front here. So we got Ryan in the McLaren chasing after the Williams of Hinge Road, trying to get up into third. One supported position here, of course, with a 12-second penalty. Not going to go off too well. We do have Angry Dutch Guy. Goes straight into the back of the Williams. Might have taken some damage there on that front wing. Let's have a look if we can as we get on through the next lap. Got a full safety car right about now. Jay out of the race. That's the Red Bull there out. Trying to get on to Riley's car. There's his car stuck on track, which explains why we have a full safety car. This definitely will result in some more pit stops happening to push these cars all the way to the end. Now, getting for the end, we're currently on lap 19, going into lap 20. That gives us about 16 laps to go. Definitely can make it on the softs, and I think that's what's going to happen. Most of these cars might try to do a stop right about now, going on to a set of soft tires and pushing all the way to the end of the race from this point here. Let's see if that's actually going to happen or not. Would be an interesting strategy to run at this point, because I think we're not going to be expecting any more safety cars of VSC, or we should not be expecting any more to happen going off to the end of the race. Dunners is trying to get out in front as much as he can. Let's see if he's going to do a stop or not. The rest of the grid is going to be watching to see if the race leader does do a pit stop. Let's bring tires online and have a look, see what's going to happen here. Of course, Dunner's running 6 laps on soft tires. He does need to take another stop, so this might be his chance of actually saving some time. And he is going to go into the pits here right about now. He does get in. Let's see if the rest of the grid is going to follow him in. And looks like Ryan is getting in. Mad Max might have not pitted, as I think he's still running on track, which I don't think was the best move at this point. If the race leader goes in, it's kind of an indication everybody else is going to follow off and go into the pits, and we expected that they're going to go into a set of soft tires here, as it is the fastest tires on track to close off the race here. As you can see, that's exactly what's happening. Everyone's changing off to those soft tires, as you can see, changing from the yellow mediums going on to the red softs at the moment. And looks like 2 drivers did not pit out front. We got Mad Max still now leading the race. Hinchable now up into 2nd. Looks like LS might have not pitted as yet. Up into 4th place. Not connected to the car. Looks like having some connection issues here. Let's have a look in Discord, see if there's any information about that. Looks like LS has lost connection. So that explains the disconnected car here. Alright, so Ryan now up into 5th, Ben Harvey in 6th. Aaron Riley running 7th. We got F14 running 8th. Angry Dutch Guy in 9th. 9th are in 10th. Jack in 11th. Deadcon 12. Give it 11 drivers currently remaining, as we don't have Ellis in this race right about now. Disconnected from the session. I don't think he's going to get back on, as far as where we can see going on right about now. So Mad Max leading in the Ferrari out front. Let's see how well that's going to go for him. We got about 16 laps remaining, possibly another lap or so under the safety car to go before we do get back racing here. Okay, so we're expecting to go this one more lap, potentially under the safety cars. Everyone's kind of bunched back up already. I think just 1 driver catching up there right about now. 2 drivers, I think, and I think they're catching up. I think that's Jack and possibly Deadcon at the back there. I think they're actually catching up there right about now to the rest of the grid. So hopefully we can get back racing into lap 22, because we're on lap 21 already. Going to give us quite a decent amount of laps to go racing on, which these guys on the soft tires are expecting to finish a race on right about now. Mad Max and Hinge are going to have a lot of pressure on them out in front. Ellis Smith there, not connected. That car, let's see how the AI is going to drive that car. I think everyone's going to be able to drive on through either way. The car is going to be ghosted, as the settings have allowed for that there. Both McLarens running just behind each other, 5th and 6th in this race right about now. Aaron Riley behind them. You're going to have to clear both of them to try and get some positions up here. Let's see what's going to happen as we get back on this restart. 5-second penalty for Jack. There's a collision with Decon. What is going on with those two down at the back there? Okay, so about to get back restarted here. Safety car is back into the pit lane right about now, and let's see what's going to happen with these two out in front, Mad Max and Hingebro, as they now get back started there. We got Dunners coming just behind of that. Angry Dutch guy getting the mix of this. And what's happening with the grid order? Angry Dutch guy is in the pits. Might have taken some damage or something definitely did happen. Let's see what's happening out in front as Mad Max still continues on into the lead. Dunners is up into 3rd, Ryan running in 4th, and Ryan trying to get alongside that Austin Martin right about now. Trying to follow on with the Williams, I see a Fortune trying to get ahead. I think almost a bit of contact between these two down at the back here. They're still going on through with this. No contact so far as they race on through. Ryan holding on to P4, F14 up to 5th. And a pretty good position. Ben Harvey into 6th, Aaron Riley running 7th. Ellis's car down to 8 at the moment there. Dunners desperately trying to hold on to P3 right about now. Of course, that's a podium position. But let's have back a look at the penalty situation as it is there right now. It's a 12-second penalty for Ryan, so he needs to gain as much positions as he can here in terms of keeping a high position, at least in this race. He is going to lose positions with that 12-second penalty. Let's see how much positions he will actually lose. F14 here trying to get ahead of that McLaren as well. Very close off behind, so might want to be try to avoid any contact there and possibly take any damage or penalties. F14 trying to possibly going to try to pull alongside him there right now. The Alpine of Aaron Riley trying to get past Ben Harvey down in the back there as well. Might have two overtakes happening at the same time here. We got a bit of contact. The McLaren there of, I think Ryan is into the wall down at the side there. Someone's up into the wall. I think that was Ryan there. He's out of this race. I think he had some contact possibly with Aaron Riley, or might have lost the rear getting off that turn. Either way, that's going to be looked after with the stewards down at the end of the race. We still continue on this lap 23 of 36. Mad Max still continues to lead 1.3 seconds out in front. F14 now trying to get up into 2nd place on the podium position here. Let's see if that's working. A bit of wheel-to-wheel contact with him and the Williams of Hinchebro. He gets up the position. Hinchebro now has a bit of issue to deal with in terms of Dunners, who's trying to get past him. I don't think we're going to have a safety car VSC with the Ryan situation there, because I think that was off track, so he should be fine. DRS is now back online here as we're still racing, getting on through lap 24. Out in front, Mad Max still continues to lead. A 2.1 second gap is what he has right about now against F14. Dunners, they're running 3rd, 4 tenths behind. Hinge for another 5 tenths, followed by Aaron Riley now up into 5th. Let's see what's happening to him right about now. Goes a bit wide off track there. Gets ahead of Alice's car, who is still disconnected from the session. 11 seconds of penalties on that car as well, so that's going to be neglected at the end of the session here, I think. This depends on how much of the race was actually done there, I'm not sure. Donis is still trying to get it wrong back. F14 trying to get it around the outside, not enough room to actually get it done. That has to just hold back into P3. Of course, he's still under pressure for Hinchebro and the Williams just behind of him. Aaron Riley fell back quite a bit right now, 8.5 seconds behind, because I think he made a bit of a mistake going a bit wide there and lost a lot of time on that. So Mad Max still trying to gain as much time as he can there. He has a 3-second penalty. He wants to be 3 seconds clear of the car behind, no matter who is going to be. Of course, 7 cars behind of him have penalties, so I think he's going to be clear either way. But he's trying to keep that position and does want that race win. F14 holding off. There are 6 seconds of penalties. He's back up into P2 right about now. And racing Dunners, though, putting a lot of pressure under him at the moment for that position. Aaron Riley trying to keep it in P4. Hinchwood now down to P5. Now have a look at what's happening with those two in just a bit. Dunners here 3 tenths behind that Alfa Romeo and not able to get overtake Dunners yet. Has been trying for the past 2 laps here. Having a bit of a difficult time with this. Let's see if he's going to have any sort of DRS advantage that will help him here. Gap down to just about a tenth right about now between these two, and still pushing on through. Dunners, of course, not giving up in terms of trying to get that position. No additional penalties applied to either of them as yet, as they're racing this closely and under a lot of pressure trying to gain and keep a position here, as you can see. Dunners thinking about going around the inside multiple times here, but not pushing on through. Doesn't want to risk losing the gap that he currently has or taking a penalty at this point here. Lap 26 of 36, just under 11 laps remaining in this race, and we're getting pretty close between these two. Nitro trying to get past Alice's Carter as well. I think this is one of the closest gaps that we do currently have here. 11 drivers remaining in the session. Let's see if we can have everyone finish up this race that's currently remaining here. Ben Harvey gets another 3-second penalty there. Jack here in 9th, the only driver currently without any penalties in this race, so he's looking pretty good so far in terms of gaining a few positions, possibly there, 1 or 2 positions at least by the end of this. Out in front, Dunners is only a 10th, literally just a 10th behind F1 Far, and not able to get by. He's trying to pull alongside that Alfa Romeo, but not able to do it as yet. Gonna go on board just a bit here to see how this is going into the next lap. We're about to get into lap 27, it should be. And this is how close that gap is. Hopefully now he's going to be able to pull alongside him into turn one. I think F1 Far using everything he has to try to keep that position. A bit of contact between them. They're still a bit side by side as they go on through here. Let's see who gets the advantage getting through. F1 Far still holds it on. He's not giving up that position. Once again, the Aston Martin tries it on the inside and has to keep it just a bit even to keep F1 Far a bit off track, but he still holds on to that position. Excellent driving from both of them for avoiding damage up to this point here, because they've been racing with a gap less than 2 tenths between them for the past few laps. Got O'Reilly now catching up. He's now 4.3 seconds behind, has gained about 4 seconds so far from his last mistake on track. Hinchworth still trying to get around Ellis's car there. Jack still trying to follow on through that. These two are still side by side fighting on through. F1 Far still holds on to second place. Donner still in P3. 2 tenths is where the gap is still right about now. Getting back onto the start finish rate. F1 Far takes another penalty now. That's going to make him lose that position at the end of this. And now Donner goes alongside him. Might be able to get the position on this goal. Let's see if F1 Far is able to push it back. Still fighting on through even with that 9-second penalty. He knows he's going to lose the position either way at this point here. And he's going to try to get up as much position as he can. They're not able to catch up to Mad Max, with both of them trying to fight for P2. I think it's led to him just creating a bit of a gap out front. And that's going to continue on through. F1 Far goes back up into the lead of this race. Sorry, up into second. Into the lead of this battle anyway. I think these two are just going to be fighting on through for that position. For the rest of the race may be on through. Mad Max is quite clear of his 3-second penalty, even if the car behind doesn't have a penalty, which it does at this point. It's a 3-second penalty there for Dunners, who is now back up into P2, holds on to that position once again. F1 Far back down to P3 with a 9-second penalty and a 1.4-second gap. Of course, Ian Riley now within TRS range of him, so that's going to be a bit dangerous to deal with. Let's see if that's working out. And looks like he's taking a pit stop. Might have taken some damage. Let's have a look here in the pit lane. See what's happening. Did F1 Far take any damage to that car? I'm not sure. Trying to have a look. His teammate coming around there right about now. Let's see if his teammate is going to get by. Looks like there is some damage to that front wing as they're having a change there right now. So he did lose, I guess, the end plate on it. Now we're going to get back out, and currently in P8 at the moment. 9 seconds of penalty is not going to work too well with that. Got Aaron Riley now up to a podium position here. Car behind of him is about 3 seconds being Angry Dutch Guy losing a position right about now. He goes down to P4. 16.4 seconds is, I think, where the gap is. Let's have a look what's happening here exactly between these two. Now he's on by himself. I think we're on with a different situation on track there. So Riley running in P3, 16.5 seconds clear of the car behind with a 6-second penalty. So I think he's going to be perfectly fine of keeping that position there. Mad Max out in front, 4.5-second gap. The Dunners in second. Both of them having 3-second penalty. They should be able to keep their positions at the end of the next 6 laps that's remaining in this race. Looks like Riley will keep his. Angry Dutch Guy will most likely be losing his position because has Naito behind him with a 3-second penalty. and with a 6-second range to deal with, it's only a 1.4-second gap between them, so he's going to lose that position. Definitely so Hinchable there will be losing his position to Jack there for a 7th, and then F14 there. I guess he will be able to keep his position with the way things are looking right now between him and Ben Harvey. Ellis's car will not be getting a position that will put Deadcon up into 10th. Just needs to finish the race as it is there, and hopefully he is connected to his car. Got an average of at least 8 minutes or so less to go in this race here to finish it off. At the moment, as we can see, it's about 7.5, 8 minutes. I think about 7.5 at least, where the things are going here right about now. Trying to follow on to what's happening out there. Let's have a look with Mad Max, race leader here at the moment, as he gets into lap 31 right now. 3.7 seconds gap to the car behind. That is Dunners, of course, and not able to catch up to him. Aaron Riley quite clear of the car behind, trying to keep up with Dunners out in front. A 1.6 second gap. Let's have a look at what the tire situation is right about now. So 18 laps for Mad Max. He's held on quite well, even after not taking a stop under that safety car. We got Nitro out of this race, of course, so Tip can have a look what's happening to his car here. I think that happened somewhere on the pit entrance here, so I'm not sure what's been happening on track here. Yeah, let's get back out in front as it is there right now. So yep, as it is. So Donald's 10 laps on those softs, running pretty well with them. Aaron Riley 12 laps on his mediums, and I think he's running pretty well with that so far, because I know a second behind Gunners there, even on the soft. I think those soft tires are starting to give away just a bit, as Gunners has fought quite a bit to keep that position. And then Angry Dutch Guy 8 laps on his soft. Hinch Road 5 laps on his Jack, 8 laps F14 on new tires there right now. Ben Harvey 6 laps on his. And let's see how he continues on through F14 up into P6. Donner's 3-second penalty there, another 3-second penalty. Let's see what that changes in terms of the aspect of the race. So 6 seconds for him right now. He will keep the position as it is there, but of course if he does take another penalty, that's going to put Aaron Riley up into 2nd on the podium at the end of this race. We're on lap 32 already, getting on through. Let's see if anyone else will be gaining any more penalties getting on through. Quite a bit with the penalty situation as it is. Jack, of course, still no penalty on his end. Will be able to gain at least one position at the end of this. Aaron Riley now takes another penalty and puts himself in risk of possibly just getting down only to 3rd on the podium. He's now up into let's see what's happening here. He's now gotten past Donner's there. He's now up into 2nd. Of course, Donner's still chasing after him, only a 10th behind, but of course he now has a 9-second penalty, 3 additional seconds to deal with, which I highly doubt he's going to be able to get that gap going within the next 3 to 4 laps that we have remaining in this race. So I think he's made it quite difficult on himself actually here in terms of that, but he still should be able to finish with a podium position, because Angry Dutch Guy is 17 seconds behind. Quite a way for them to actually catch up here. So I think that might stay as it is. A 4:10 gap now is what Dunners is down to, just behind Riley. Still trying to catch up to him, but doesn't look like he's going to get a good go at that right about now. His soft tires are possibly coming to an end there in terms of grip level. Thornton might be giving up just a bit, but he's trying to gain back some time here using a slipstream and possibly DR's advantage. He's now back up to 3/10 behind the Alpine, and he will definitely try to get by within the next few laps that we have remaining. Just under 4 laps now remaining. It's about 4.5 minutes or so to go before we come to the end of this race. So coming very close down to the end. Looks like Mad Max still looking for a win. Will be able to get it. Hopefully he doesn't get any more penalties. Aaron Riley though has cost himself 2nd place here with an extra 3 seconds of penalties. And this is only going to be kept if Donner's gets another penalty here. So he's going to have to possibly force him to get another penalty, even it out at 9 seconds each. And then they can finish 2nd and 3rd as it is. That's the only possible way he's going to be getting that right about now, because I highly doubt with the way things are going between the two of them, he's not going to be able to pull off a 3-second gap from that Aston Martin, unless Dunners makes some sort of mistake, which is highly unlikely at this point. I don't see him doing that. And there goes the Alpine, goes wide, and this is what is costing him penalties right about now. So he needs to avoid doing that. And there goes Aston Martin on the inside. Looks like he's going to be able to get back to position here. Doesn't want to just get 2nd place on the podium, wants to get across the line 2nd as it seems. So I think he's going to push on through for that. Riley's still going to fight it back with him though, still side by side on the outside. Angelo gets another penalty. He's currently running in 6th right about now. Let's see if that's going to work for him. I think Jack took another stop. He's now down by about 27 seconds, so he's going to have to finish right there in P8 as it is right now. Coming off to the final 2.5 laps in this race. Still got the Ferrari of Mad Max leading out in front. Aaron right there still running second. Still trying to hold it up against Donner's here. Just about 5 tenths behind of him. Penalties is kind of what is going to be determining what the finishing positions are going to be at the end of this. Got at least 4th, 5th, and 6th with 9 seconds of penalties each, so they're all finished right there where they are. Ben Harvey will take his 7th position as well. Let's see if that's going to keep going on through it. Angry Dutch guy gets another penalty here. 12 seconds of penalties for him right now. Let's see if that's going to work. We got Dunners and Ian Riley once again switching positions. The Alpine back down to 3rd. Still with his 9 seconds of penalties. He's back over the 2nd once again, trying to fight it against that Aston Martin driver Dunners there. And I think they might just switch it by switch going on through. We're on the penultimate lap at the moment, so that's, let's see, Ben Harvey, another penalty. A lot of penalties in this race, as you wouldn't expect a track as simple as this one to for the drivers to get so many penalties, but it does happen. Track limits are quite important around here. And there goes the Alpine having a bit of a slide and goes into the wall on the side. I don't think he actually ended up in the wall. I think he saved that a bit. He didn't lose the car and didn't lose the front wing, so he's still in 3rd. And he's going to have to settle for that right about now as he's lost his gap towards Dunner. I don't think he's damaged the tires on the car. He hasn't damaged the car, so kept it out of the wall, which is actually pretty good in terms of him driving there. So he's kept it in the 3rd. The good thing about this is that the gap towards Angry Dutch guy down in the back was way over 10 seconds. It's now down to 9.5 seconds with that mistake he just made. On the final lap here right about now as they're going through. And they're going to have to keep things as it is just to keep their position. So it looks like Mad Max will be able to take a win here for this race. Donald should be able to finish 2nd. Riley will be able to take 3rd. Dutch should be able to take 4th. 5th, 6th, and 7th should finish right where they are. So will 8th, 9th, and 10th. Of course, 10th will go up to 9 because Ellis' car is still disconnected. As I think it should still be. Let's see what's going to be. We're coming down to the final sector on track here, but not a bad race for Mad Max. Kept those tires going, avoided taking a pit stop on that final safety car just to get up into the lead here, and he's kept that lead going on through. Even on old tires, gets around the final turn, and he now will get across the line to take the win here for the Austrian Grand Prix here for the feature race. Not a bad finish for him. Donner takes 2nd place on the podium. We got Aaron Riley getting across the line here right about now. Should be taking 3rd place on the podium. Angry Dutch guy behind with him. 12 seconds of penalties coming behind to take 4th. Hinjiro with a 9-second penalty should just be taking 5th. Let's see if anything's going to change as we get on through this. So waiting for Hinjiro to get across the line right about now as he now comes there. F14 should be taking 6th. And we got Ben Harvey coming around, takes 7th. We got Jack will take 8th. And well, Ellis's car takes 9, but I think that car will have to switch that. Just depends on what the situation was during the entire race itself. They will most likely be determined by the steward what's going to happen in that case there. If the car was disconnected for more than a certain percentage of the race, I think it is. So let's see what's going to happen. 20-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags there to F1 for what even happened with that. I'm not even sure. We're going to work with whatever graphic we have on stream. Updated standings for both races combined will be provided next week when we get to the Brazilian Grand Prix. And let's have a look. So Ben Harvey takes driver of the day. Not a bad finish for him. Let's have a look and see what our finishing order looking so far in the grid is. Not sure that final penalty to F14 was. Either way, Ferrari driver Mad Max takes a win for this feature race, and some decent points there for him as well. Donner in the Aston Martin takes 2nd place on the podium. We got Aaron Riley taking 3rd. We got Angry Dutch guy takes 4th. Hinjiro takes 5th. Ben Harvey takes 6th. Jack takes 7th. F14 finishes in 8th. Ellis's car gets across the line in P9, but let's see what's happening with that coming next week. That car gets across the line 10. And fastest lap looks like that goes to F14 there. We'll see what the situation will be in terms of updated standings coming on to next week. So thank you guys once again for everyone who joined on to the stream. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Make sure you guys do leave a like on the stream. Thank you guys once again. I'll see you guys on the next stream, which is currently scheduled on the YouTube channel, so do have a look at that as it is there right now.